And that
Thank
about
you.
wraps it up for Revo in the hot seat on Talking
Damn,
Trophies.
man. I'm done.
If you're still watching,
On Talking Trophies, buddies. Alright.
3, 2, 1. Rahel, you're very nervous today, yeah?
No, I'm stressed.
Stressed
we
about
started?
what? You have a podcast.
What do you mean? I've never done it by myself.
you're with us.
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll look after you today.
I don't
Just
know. I'm
FYI, you
feeling
know,
very
like she's our
exposed.
op.
What's that?
Like Bittersweet, our like op position.
Oh.
We're competing.
Yeah, we're not cool with them.
Wow. So
Yeah.
this is like a rival.
It's like a
big
rivalry type thing.
Yeah.
That's why she's nervous, because her friend isn't here to back her up.
Nice.
Alright.
Okay, I got
Have
you.
my back.
I got you.
Okay, good. There we go. It's all good. It's all G.
Let's go. Welcome back to Air Raid. It's another week of Air Raid. Last week was a banger. We had Amuri the Great on and the Greek man. You know the vibes. You guys loved that episode. This week we're switching it up. We like to give a voice to the people on Air Raid. So, we switch it up. We get a variety of guests, different opinions, different voices. We are the voice of the people. And make sure you guys do hit the subscribe button before we get into the
Who said
episode.
we're the voice of the people?
I just
Turn
made
on
that
that
up
bell
right now.
notification.
Hey, I just made that up right now. And the thing is, please name me another platform that's getting people, just anyone, to jump on their podcast and say their opinion. Tell me
Bittersweet isn't.
Bittersweet isn't.
Whoa.
You know what I mean?
Whoa.
We're the only podcast right now in Melbourne. They're just getting their boys in, week in, friends in, randoms in, people we're meeting today. Like one important guest we have today. We'll introduce her later. Week in, week out, just to say their opinions, speak on how they feel. That's a vibe.
Yeah,
Come on,
respect.
put some respect on our name.
Respect.
Put some respect on our
No
name, Rahel.
one's coming for you.
Okay. Make sure you guys do hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Please hit us with that subscribe button if you're new here. Because we do drop our content every week, 6 p.m. on Wednesdays, and season 4 is coming up soon, and it's gonna be a big season.
Hit up Talking Trophies GoFundMe. We're trying to get a new couch.
Yeah, because all I guess keep complaining about it.
Yeah.
Damien, what are you saying, cuz?
You know what it is? New haircut, this,
You're
that,
looking
new
sharp.
vibes.
You're looking
Come on
good.
now. The long hair is gone. I'm a new man.
It's clean, man. It's such a clean look.
New man. Trying to grow my hair out more, fill it out. You know what it is.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. When you see your cousins just glowing up and stuff.
Nice.
Let's go.
Appreciate it.
And this week's guest, we have someone that does do podcasting. She's been on here. This is going to be her 4th time.
No, third.
No, third time.
Third.
Third
but
time on
fourth
ours.
collaboration.
Fourth
With us.
collaboration.
The
Third.
third time with
feature.
us.
Yeah.
We like her. You know why we like her? Because she does. I feel like she's the sweet side of the Bittersweet Podcast. We got the amazing Rahel. How are you, Rahel?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. I'm excited. Excited and nervous.
We're looking forward to having you
Mixed
here. We want to see your opinion without
Yes.
the influence of Wintana.
Yeah.
Last week we saw the influence of Wintana without the influence of you. 2 weeks ago.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, but when she can stand her ground too, man.
Yeah,
she
she
stand
does.
your ground. Like last time, we weren't even recording, and we were it was like a debate going on for like 40 minutes.
Yeah, I always find myself in that situation. I don't know.
And it's
why.
always off camera.
Yeah.
Every time.
Another guest. I think Damien should introduce her. You invited
Yeah,
her
okay.
over.
So, got a one and only. It's amazing. Got a crazy resume built up. I'm gonna hype you up right now, okay? She's an actor, journalist, director.
Ooh.
She does music as well.
Ooh, kill him.
We got the one and only Leigh.
Woo.
Yeah, making a
Hi.
debut.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
It's great having you.
You forgot producer.
Oh, producer. Put some respect on her name.
Put some
God
respect on
damn.
it.
I slipped off the couch.
That's why we need new couches. GoFundMe,
Hey,
Talking
yeah, that's
Trophy.
why we need some new couches. We need to switch up this background, So, hey, if we're going to set up the GoFundMe, just hit us up. Even a 50 cent to $1 donation can make a big difference.
Hey, we should have our heads on it too.
Yeah, just top of my head.
Oh my god.
All right, we're going to jump into Air Raid. So how Air Raid works is we go through random topics. We barely ever get to look into it as well. We think of the topics before you get here.
Spontaneously.
And we just talk about it, see how you feel. And this week, it's a balance. I think, is this the first? Actually, no, it's not. I was going to say the first week it's balanced out where it's 2 guys, 2 girls. But we've done this before. We're not a sexist podcast. So this week's first topic is, we're gonna start it slow. We just want to get to know you. Just a little icebreaker question.
Okay.
What is your source of motivation? What in your life motivates you generally? You know, when you're low, when you're on your highs, what's your source of motivation? It can be someone, it can be something, it can be an idea, it can be a belief, it can be whatever you feel. Who wants to take it away?
Okay, I can go.
Go, Rahel.
Okay, my source of motivation. I don't think you're starting it, like, I feel like that's starting it so heavy, but okay.
I think it's a personal question.
It's a personal question.
But this is something that you're comfortable with because so like
Yeah.
you'll be able to ease into it.
Yeah.
And then we go deeper with things that are a bit more.
And plus,
Yeah.
it can give our audience and our viewers an idea of whether they like you from now or they don't like you, and they can press the X button and leave this video right now and continue listening to this.
Okay. Okay. I feel like I'm motivated by like multiple different things, but the main thing that motivates me is when I'm feeling like I'm out of my comfort zone. So if I'm doing something that makes me feel uncomfortable, even though I always dread it to begin with, or I'm always scared, even something like this, like jumping on this podcast, it doesn't come naturally to me. Like, I wouldn't say I'm a naturally extroverted person. It's just like I force myself, and then I always end up like surprising myself at the end, and then that just makes me keep going and going and going and going. So I would say that that's like my main, and if it's something that it is like genuine to me, and it's like it has purpose, and it's like for a reason, like Bittersweet, like there's a bigger picture, then I always know I'm on the right track, so it gives me like deep motivation. But if I feel like I'm kind of drifting, then that's when I start to get lazy and like stagnant and stuff. So yeah, it's a combination. And then of course there's people in my life that motivate me as well, like my friends and my family.
Nice.
That was a beautiful answer.
Hey, wait. Hey, we can't have this. You can't be just complimenting each other.
That was an
motivating each
awful
other.
answer. It was the worst answer I've ever heard.
Thank you. Beautiful.
Okay. My answer for what motivates me is, I think, just like spreading joy and like spreading just like laughter. Like, that's why I love writing comedy and like producing and directing comedy, because I think nothing brings people together more than laughter. Like, if you can laugh together, you can exist together. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's my answer.
What are you gonna say, Damien?
That money. No, I'm joking. No. No.
The bag. The check.
I don't know what motivates me. I don't even know, man. Life, like God, my family, my partner, podcast. No, like I think just life overall. That's my motivation, mate.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, I gotta say, friends, family. Obviously, like, you know, I lost a couple people in my life, so like that motivates me to be better. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, you know, these guys, you know, they didn't get the chance to live their life to the full. So I feel like I have to like live my life, you know, because I got the opportunity. Probably say my pops too. Shout out my dad.
Yeah.
You know my dad. Shout out to my
Listen.
dad, because you
Shout
know
out.
why? Homeboy came to this country and grinded it out.
Yeah, true.
He did some of the lowest jobs just to put food on the table. And I got to give it out. Shout out to my dad.
Dad's
Shout
a
out
real
dad.
one. Your dad's a real one.
Hey, Bob, if you're watching this, I love you.
Beautiful.
But it's probably gonna say that. Yeah, even family. I feel like, just like, for example, as I said, like with my dad, yeah, it's like, I don't want to let him down. Like, I'm just gonna try as hard as I can in life, because I don't want to let him down, because it's like he worked all those years, put in the work, and it's like, am I gonna really throw away my life? You know what I mean? When someone invested so much in me, so like that's probably one source of motivation. And obviously friends that are doing really well as well. You know, like for example, if I have a friend that's, you know, he's got a business running, or he's like just doing really well in his career and stuff, that's a massive source of motivation, because it's not like I'm envious of them, but it's like, hey, look, this guy did it. I'm going to push myself to that level, you know, and be the best person I can possibly be as well, you know? And obviously, like people, you know, I'm not going to lie to you, a couple people, like, you know, when you see a junkie in the street, you know, like, you know, someone that just like,
Sorry, where?
hey, you know, like someone just,
I was like, was that a rhetorical question?
you know, someone that just threw away their life. I'm just like, ah. Hey, that's my. Hey, I can't be like this. You know what I mean? I gotta take my chance.
I can see what you mean when I see someone who's like throwing away an opportunity. It makes you want to go harder to grab it, but I'm not sure if that's the best example.
Hey, it's air raid. You know what I mean? It's air raid.
Call me so off guard, bro. That one.
Hey, make sure you do subscribe, by the way. Shout out to y'all. All right, listen. I feel like that was a good intro. We got to see what kind of people you are.
Thank you.
It's just a good icebreaker.
Yeah.
Talking about bums.
Oh yeah, hey, let me say this
You can
one.
say it.
All right.
No, we're not talking about like bums, like real bums.
Yeah, that's what I. What?
Like
No,
bums,
okay.
Like they're bums.
Bums. Okay,
Bums.
speaking of bums,
Yeah.
do you reckon if a guy is 25 plus and still plays video games on the daily, like that's his whole, like occupies his time, would you consider him a bum?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, answer.
I'm just trying to I just need context because what do you mean? Like, does he has a?
He works a 9 to 5.
Okay, so
but
he has
he
a
comes
job.
home and just plays games all day, all night. And if you were to come over,
Yeah.
he's still playing games.
It's just like not for me, but I don't think it makes someone a bum. Like, I feel like if that was just what you were doing, like you're just gaming day in and day out and you don't have any other priority in life and you're not like trying to make something of yourself, then that's when it would be an issue. But like, there's nothing wrong. If that's how you choose to relax, that's how you choose to relax. I don't think that's a problem for me personally. But if I was in a relationship with someone that was like that, no, thank you.
Out?
No, because like I want to be a priority. So I don't want to have to like fight for your time, like for like a game. Like, I don't get it. So that's just how I feel.
Let me just interrupt you out there.
Yes.
Because there's a couple kings out here, you know? There's a couple kings and queens actually that are streaming on Twitch.
Yeah.
And they're generating income from gaming.
Okay. How many? And
A lot.
what's the likelihood of that being?
It's very high now.
You're
If you're
just
an entertaining person playing game,
okay.
you can generate income from it. And people watch you. Genuinely, it's a $1 billion industry. People watch you play games.
Yeah.
So are they a bum now?
I never said they were a bum, so I don't even know why you're just trying to. Okay, listen. All I said was that I don't appreciate. I want to.
That's not for you.
For people that get into gaming, obviously it can be a passion, it can be an addiction, it can be healthy or it can be unhealthy. I don't know. It depends on the person. But like, I just want to be a priority in like someone's life. So no, I wouldn't say that it makes them a bum. Like, especially if they're making money off it, like, do you? I think that's lit. But I have no interest in gaming. So like, that wouldn't be a very interesting, there would be no interesting conversations for me in that. So no.
Can you define a bum?
That's a tough question. I actually didn't actually think of the word bum. Damien wrote the word bum, and I just put it down on my notes. So Damien, what's a bum? A deadbeat. That's what a bum is probably. You could say someone that's just not motivated, isn't like, you know, like they don't have any ambitions for life. They just like do the same routine. Like there's no need to grow or change or better themselves. Let's just put that classification as a bum. But Damien actually wrote the word bum. I actually do not identify any individual in this world as a bum.
And this is why I don't like Raver.
You can say it, go Leigh.
Because I feel like if we're going with deadbeat, then there's like a connotation of not making money. So if you're making an income from gaming, for me, that does not classify you as a deadbeat.
Shout out our gaming streamers on Twitch, kings and queens.
But would you date someone that was a gamer?
Would you date someone that occupies their life? They do a 9 to 5. They come home, they just play games all the time.
You could replace games with any other hobby, and I would say no.
Oh.
Because if you're occupying all your free time with gardening or cooking or gaming, whatever it is, you're still not prioritizing the people in your life. You're putting in activity over people.
Can I just give you a quick shout out? You're actually such a well-spoken individual.
Thank you.
You should start your own podcast.
I'm a journalist.
Bittersweet, you got a bit of competition up your sleeves.
Leigh podcast starting up. Leigh.
Oh, don't start me. Don't start me.
All right. You know, there's another topic. This has been going around the news for a while, actually, to be honest. You know, this. So it was on. I saw it on like an article on it, and then I saw a bunch of videos later on social media. It's pretty much about I don't know if this is the correct way of pronouncing it, but the Finnish prime minister, the prime minister of Finland. Is that what you call someone that's from Finland? A Finnish person? Finnish. So
Finnish?
finished. The Finnish prime minister of Finland.
Finnish. Sorry.
So pretty much there was a video, like, so a video got like sent out, or a Snapchat, was it?
Yeah.
Of her partying, having fun with friends, and, you know, having a good time. And then she just got a bunch of backlash. They ended up drug testing her, and people were holding her accountable. And the question I was going to ask you is, should world leaders be held accountable for what they do in their personal lives if it is legal and within the law?
So what happened? Like, what happened?
They made a video because she was out. It was just her and her friends, just her and the girls, and they were getting lit. They were drunk, and
At
they were just
her
having
house,
fun
or?
at a house.
Okay.
They were having like a house party just with their friends.
Were there heaps of people there?
I'm not sure, to be honest. There was a bunch of people. They're friends. You know?
But what happened was they posted a video, and like she copped a whole bit of backlash, saying like, how can you be like a world leader and partying like?
And I'm not gonna lie, shout out to the Eastern European governments, because they're electing a lot of young individuals, and I think even the prime minister, the president of Croatia, shout out to her, man. I don't know if she was a model or the prime minister, and that was not I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
Shooting a shot at
Are
you shooting a shot at the prime minister
like,
of
hey,
Croatia?
You know what I mean? When you're seeing a young prime minister, you're like, damn, that's crazy. You know,
Are you shooting a shot at the Croatian prime minister right now?
Croatia. But yeah, like, you know what I mean? So like, with world leaders, and I think this might become a common trend amongst even the rest of the Western world, where you'd find young world leaders that are getting elected, you know, because they're able to relate to the people more. Rather than having these 70, 80-year-old people or 60-year-old getting elected.
With old school views.
You're going to start seeing 40-year-olds, 35-year-olds even at one point, maybe. I'm not sure how old these prime ministers are or presidents getting elected. So what are your thoughts on that?
So do you reckon like they should, like, world leaders should be judged for what they do in their personal life? Do you reckon that's a fair thing, or do you reckon, what's your take on it?
I feel like when you said, like, with what you were just saying about like these leaders that are like prehistoric, that like, how old is Joe Biden? There was literally videos of him, like there was a video of him and he fell off his bike or something, and it was like, it literally looked like
it was black
like
and white.
I was like,
Yeah,
you know, like, are you all right? Like, are you going to not get up again from that fall? Like,
you're talking about recently. I thought you were talking about back in the days.
No.
One boy probably signed the papers to end slavery, brother.
Like, he's so old. Donald Trump, and I don't know, like Albanese, he's not that old, but you understand my point. Like, I think everyone's over it. And I feel like the way that the world is now, and the power of things like social media and platforms like podcasts, YouTube, blah, 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 more young people have like ability to share their opinions and views, and that actually holds power. So back in the day, that wasn't the case. Like, it was only like the white and the rich and the blah, blah, blah that like had any say in anything. So I think that it's great that there's like, there's this shift to like more younger leaders. And with the situation of the Finnish prime minister, I think she's a G for that. Like, I don't think I seriously, like, as long as she's not like a racist. They literally had Donald Trump in power in America. How with all of the
I thought
Did you just say homeboy?
Playboy.
Oh my god.
No, but I thought
He-
doesn't Bittersweet support Donald Trump? I thought you guys had an episode where you're speaking about the pros and cons of him.
What?
Oh, okay, wrong podcast.
Oh my gosh. Don't even go there. Don't even go there. I can't. But yeah, no, obviously, like, I don't know. I saw that. I saw a video, and her friends and stuff were like topless or something in the house, and everyone was so like shook. But I think there's nothing wrong with like partying, even if you're a world leader. And I think that there's a good shift happening. And I think that we should, like, I just don't think it's that deep. I don't think it's that deep. I would be really interested to know about like her actual policies and whatever. That's what matters. It doesn't matter what you do in your private life. That's my opinion.
I do think the private lives of politicians and like people of authority is important, only in the context where it contradicts their policies. So if you're advocating for like anti-partying and like what's that word when it's like purity
I think that
purity culture, I don't know.
What it's called.
is there.
But if you're like the whole no drinking, no smoking,
Yeah.
like all that kind of thing, if you're like if those are in your policies and then you go and do those very things, then I have an issue because you're like hypocritical.
Boris Johnson,
During the lockdown or
during
something.
the and he had a full party.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that is like, I feel like that's
Exactly.
kind of like
Definition,
Yeah, like that's the only time where I'd care about a politician's personal life. But other than that, it's not my business.
I feel like if you were to take anyone's personal life into their workplace, they'd probably like be questionable.
Okay, let's take this into context, yeah. This is a world leader of a country.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if they're a world leader. Would they be considered a world leader?
Prime Minister.
Oh, yeah, they are a world leader.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a world leader of a country. Let's just say, in the case some emergency happens in the country, but they're just smashed off their head, lit at a party, and like they need, like for example, military, like something happens, or there's some.
They need to make a decision.
They need to make an important decision, but they're waived, and then because they got lit, they come to the next day hungover. Do you think they should they be held accountable in those circumstances?
if that was to happen, then yeah, I guess so. But like that's such an unrealistic scenario. Like in what situation, like take Australia for example, would our Prime Minister like I just don't understand how
I'll
that
give you an
went
example
and
of
how
it.
that
I'll
would
give you a
happen.
perfect example of it. When the bushfires were happening in Australia, Scott Morrison was actually on holidays then, and he was in Hawaii. And the people were like, yo.
Yeah, because he was in a different country. Like, that's different.
No,
like,
but
it's not like he was just like...
He's on holidays. At the time, he was actually on holidays, and he went to Hawaii.
Yeah.
And he was spending time with his family, but the country, there was a bushfire.
Yeah.
That spread, but he was already there, like pretty much. Yeah? Should he be held accountable?
Yes, he should be held accountable in that situation.
Okay.
Because he stayed on holiday in Hawaii and he didn't come back and try and do anything. Like, he's allowed to go on holiday.
He did come back. I'm not for Scott Morrison, but I'm just saying he did come back. Before he cut his Hawaii trip short.
I just don't know the situation, but I know that the controversy around that was that he was trying to say some shit about like, oh, you know, just because I'm Prime Minister doesn't mean I can't prioritize my family and blah, blah, blah. And he took his time. He really took his time coming back. And that's why I just don't see the correlation. Like, just because you're a leader doesn't mean that you can never get drunk. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like,
I think when you're, I don't know, I think when you're in a certain position or role, I think there are certain aspects of life you kind of sacrifice for that role. That's me personally. I feel like if you're in a position of a world leader where you have to make decisions, I'm not saying like you can go to a party, but it's just like you don't have to be drunk there. I feel that's me personally. I feel like because it depends on your position, you know, of like the role that you're doing. Like, huh?
You're the designated driver of the country.
Yeah, you're the designated driver of the country.
That's what a prime minister and a president is. That's what they are. They're a designated driver of a country.
You're the desi driver, man.
Yeah, you're not allowed to have fun.
No, you can have fun.
No fun. Do your job.
no fun.
No annual leave. And increase their salary.
You're cooked.
How?
That's the recipe for like a literal dictator. Like,
Yeah.
For the term they're in, yeah. What are you going to say, Leigh?
Pause. Can you say those three things again?
So, no annual leave.
For them?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
No days off for the term.
Mm-hmm.
And country first. And just full-time, 7 days a week, leading the country at heart. And so that's what it is. You're a designated driver of the country. But you still enjoy yourself. See the country flourish. See the beauty of what you do to the country. and then in the end of your term, your result, you get a fat paycheck, and you live life. What do you got to say about that?
Interesting.
Oh, bro, it's a podcast. You can't just say interesting. Tell me what you think about that.
I think, I mean, I like the metaphor of a president or a prime minister being the designated driver, but that's not true because they have, what is it? What's it called? Oh my gosh.
Mental health?
No. They have a whole team behind them. Yeah. They have, deputies and secretaries of their party. Like, just because one of them's drunk doesn't mean the job isn't going to get done.
What?
Straight up.
What a great point. Yeah. I wanted to play devil's advocate in this, you know what I mean? Just to
also, politicians should be paid less. I do believe that.
In general, yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
you reckon?
Yeah.
100%.
Why is that?
Because they barely do anything.
Because like a lot of people make decisions for them or like assist their decisions, and like they're not truly doing it. They're just being influenced to just be the person to say yes or no.
Legit.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So cut all politicians' paychecks.
They get paid a lot, man.
They get paid a lot.
How much?
They paid so much.
ABC journalists.
6 figures, my guy.
No way.
Yeah.
So, do you know like an estimated amount for like, let's just say, hey, local MP?
I don't think a local MP would be making as much as somebody in Parliament, but like Prime Minister is like what? I want to say a minimum of 100,000K.
You
Oh,
know,
way more.
way more.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? The day when I was a kid, when I found out that Oprah Winfrey makes more than the President of the United States, I was a kid. I was astonished.
And J.K. Rowling.
Hey, they make
JK.
prime ministers make like 350K
Oh,
a year.
A year.
Yeah.
That doesn't
So
seem like
they're
that
looking
much.
at 1.4.
But I reckon
mil
they'd make.
in
I reckon they'd make a lot more. But to be honest,
Yeah, that's crazy.
because they say that, but then you cop burnt. Like they would give you so much extra.
Yeah, and you get to live in the house, don't you? Like the
Security 24/7.
Yeah.
After as well.
They get all the benefits.
And yeah, if once you you serve as like a senator or something, or even a local MP, you're on the you get pension, isn't it? That's what it's pension. Is it pension?
I can't remember if it's pension or health care.
You get something like they just cover for the rest of your
It's
life.
like free medical expenses, all that.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you got? Hey, well, let's talk about because we got Rahel here. We got to talk about the dating. The history. The history, man.
Oh, why are you
don't
saying
be
Chris
saying.
Rahel? Okay, all right. So we know how Bittersweet like to take their hot topics on, when it comes to relationships.
yes.
Do you reckon it's appropriate to ask someone off the bat, like their like sexual history
Or even dating history as well.
or dating history as well,
In
like their history overall?
like on a first date or something like that.
In
or
general.
Let's say
just
first
in general?
3 dates.
Is this someone you're trying to date or like?
You just started talking to, you went on a couple dates, and now he just came up to you and he's asking about your history. Do you reckon that's appropriate, or do you reckon that's like?
I don't think it's inappropriate. I just think it's like immature. Like, I don't know. It's why is that? I don't know. I just think it's like childish to like, I don't know, dating history, of course, but like sexual history, I think like that's irrelevant. Like maybe just out of curiosity after like months of being together or something, you have that conversation. But to ask someone that on the first date, the second date, the third date is just like, what's wrong with you at that point? That's just what I think. But in terms of dating history, I think that's just an interesting conversation to have with someone, like, like a Tinder date or whatever. Like, you just want to know, like, I don't think it's, I don't think it's that deep, but sexual history.
Do you think looking at someone's dating history can point something out about them? What kind of people they've dated or how most of their relationships have ended? You can see, okay, is this person the issue maybe? Or maybe was their partner the issue? And I want you to even think of it vice versa. Is it vice versa?
Vice versa.
So the other way, so like thinking about like, for example, how would a guy see you, for example? How you see a guy? Do you know, would you consider his dating history? Would you consider the body counts and stuff like that? Or do you like, is it something that's not important to you? Because I know a lot of people say that it's not important to them, but a lot of us think about that stuff too, generally.
But I don't think body count is important. Like, I honestly believe that. Like, I've just never been in a situation where I've met someone and they've been like, oh yeah, I've slept with like 5,000 people, you know? Like, maybe at that point I'd be like, what? Like, that's a bit much. But I think most people have like a standard amount, whether that be like slightly higher or slightly lower. Like, I don't know. But obviously dating history, yeah, that tells a lot about someone, who they dated before and how they broke up and how they speak about their exes. Like, I really listen to that, because if they have had a history of bad breakups and stuff, I'm going to be like, oh, like, what's going on there? Like, what's the deal?
It's all my exes were crazy.
Yeah, that shit.
Blocked. Immediate block. Because it's like, my guy, you were the common denominator in that situation. All your exes were crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
You made them crazy, my guy. Like, come on now. Like, red fucking flag.
Yeah, literally.
How about you, Leigh?
Honestly,
Do you reckon that's like, is that full on if someone was to ask that? Like, let's say you went on a couple dates with someone and they pulled that, they just went straight for it and asked.
in the first 3 dates, why are we talking about our exes? Why are we talking about that? Like, I don't care about that.
Conversation-wise, maybe some people conversate.
Maybe he might have been like, "Oh, when was your last relationship? How'd that go?" Or like, you know, like, or maybe it was just like, you know, how's your previous relationships going? Like,
I mean, I guess it depends why they're asking, right? Because there could be a, what's the word? Yeah, hidden agenda. There.
secret motive.
Yeah, secret motive. An alternative motive, that's the word. I don't know.
I feel like you're really sus on people, yeah?
I'm very I have mad trust issues. So it takes a lot for me to even be like, I will go on a date with you.
Oh wow.
Like, I'm just like, nah. I'm so, like, my walls are very high.
Yeah.
And they are surrounded by an electric fence.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, man. Hey, so any guys watching this and you're saying, oh my God, I want to speak to Leigh, or
make sure you're wearing get electrocuted.
make sure no.
Outfit, like,
and make sure you protect yourself at all costs, because you will have your heart broken.
this is the second thing you've said, and it just sounded like what it was.
I think it's 'cause I'm with you.
Yeah.
But hey, the fences are up.
The fences are up. I just think we as women should have very, very, very high standards. That's all I think.
Preach.
Straight up.
Yas queen.
Yes, queen.
And this is I don't know if I'm just like going off topic, but that's exactly what happened in a recent episode that we did for Bittersweet. We were talking about how women should have higher standards in relationships, because men tend to, we were just talking about how in a relationship, men will break up with you in 1,000 different ways before they actually break up with you.
Yeah, I heard that.
That was the point. Like, they'll do things, and if your standards aren't high enough, then that's how you're going to end up being hurt at the end of the day, which I don't like. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with that.
I don't think you agreed with it. Remember when Wintano was talking about how, like, the guy will start, like, distancing himself from you slowly. Remember how she was mentioning that?
Yeah.
Did you agree with that, like, totally? Like,
no, because we were talking, I mean, first of all, it was all in reaction to a Reddit, like, story, a Reddit post about this guy who had a friend, it's like he was married and he had a close girlfriend, and that was the whole situation. But I don't agree with necessarily, like, with what Wintana said. I think that it's always, like, an individual, like, situation, and it's based off, and I don't think I don't think it's a men and women thing. I think it's like a people thing. Like, you know, people do the same situation. Like anyone will do that. So you just have to have your guard up a little bit. But
she's got the electric fences up. I don't know where you got some park fences up, man. She's saying she's got the electric fences up. You got to build the wall. Donald Trump vibes.
I think it's
build
just
that wall right now.
I think it's just because when I do let somebody into my life, I give everything. Okay. So I'm a very all or nothing person. So it's like,
but then on the same level, you're gonna hurt yourself,
sure.
It's
like, and if you're not deserving of knowing me, then I'm not gonna let you in.
Yeah.
But me,
like I think that's just having respect for yourself. I
definitely agree with Rahel on when she spoke about standards, because I think even for men as well, we have to have high standards as well, and women. And I think if we both lift up our standards, like, things will be so much, all the complication, all that.
The bridge stuff over our walls.
Yeah. So we're just building the wall. Yeah. Rahel built the wall. Yeah. You built the electric fences, and we're the guards.
What?
Wait, why are you the guards in that scenario?
As in men.
I don't know what.
Okay, I don't know what I mean by that.
I don't know what he's saying here, but
you had me in the first half, but
yeah.
You're getting there, and then you said guards, which puts us on the ground again.
Oh yeah, true. Actually, that does put us on. Okay, we're building.
No, the key, guys. That means we're still on the ground, but we're finding our way in. We're gonna build our way too, guys.
Yeah. We definitely. I feel like we both genders have to lift up that standards.
Yeah, I feel like all this social media stuff, like you really see how intense the divide is getting. Like it's scary, and I feel like not like podcast and like talk shows, stuff like this has a lot to do with that, because our conversations always like, oh yeah, men like blah blah blah, women like blah blah blah, when really it's just like shitty people doing really shitty things. But yes, men are worse in like most ways, like just generally. But I don't.
Excuse me.
Just like it, like historically and everything like that. Like there's reasons that there's this gender gap, and there's all of that stuff is legitimate.
So
I'm just saying,
I'm more less of a person than you are.
I never said that.
Well,
I never said that.
Well, I'm a man.
I never said that, and I don't think that. Do not even like.
Crop
make
this out,
me
make
out.
a TikTok.
Don't make me out. Don't make me out to be that person, because I'm literally the opposite.
But what you said was right as well. When like for example, hurt people. If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
So
And so many
like
people
a lot of
hurt
people
out
on podcasts, like for example, had bad experiences, and then they speak on their experiences and their traumas, and then expect people give people these ideas and thoughts in their head, like just because you had a crappy experience maybe with your last relationship, it doesn't mean, okay, this is how generally all women think, or this is how all men think. You know what I mean?
Hey, but you know what I think is an issue though? I think people go through experiences, and because social media is such a strong platform, right? I think it gets so amplified that it becomes a hate trend for a minor percentage of people that do it. Because, you get a lot of people that say, like, all men are trash. Like, I know a lot of guys, like, there's actually a lot of decent guys out there. But I think there's a lot of, like, really good women out there. And, like, there's a lot of bad women out there, too. But I think the gap, like you're saying, the gap's getting bigger. And I think it's just because it's being so, like, a hatred is being so vocalized through social media. I think. But, yeah, you get guys like Andrew Tate, right? Hops on and, like, it gets so amplified. And so, like, there becomes this hate thing, but like about guys, and this is men's mentality, and like it's like almost like he speaks for all guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he like people like that. What's scary is when I see their following, and it's like it shows you the percentage of people that actually think like that. And yeah, there's some like women in there too, but I think there's a lot of like hurt like men out there that legitimately hate women, and it's scary.
Do you go on your Instagram and then go on Andrew Tate's profile and see who's your following is following him?
I don't look at his profile.
Oh, because you know on Instagram you can go on your profile, like for example his profile, and it'll tell you like all your followers. Even you can do that. It'll say your followers are like maybe like 30 people are following Andrew Tate. Do you know what I mean?
That's wild. No, I don't want to know. I don't even.
Would that change your perspective on how you see that person?
Yes.
Leigh, what do you have to say on this?
so many things. I don't even know where to start because I feel like you've covered so many things under this one topic.
Do you hate men?
I don't hate men. I mean, do I like them? Not really, but I don't hate them.
She's so pressed.
Because I don't want it to be this conversation.
No,
we're
we're
joking.
joking.
No, you edit it in some fucked up way.
Okay, stop.
They'll do it.
Firstly,
for
the way these
views,
episodes are
like,
edited,
just be-
Rahel, let me explain to you how a podcast is edited. So the podcast will drop, and then what we do is we sync the audio with the video, and then we cut the start, and we cut the end, and we just put it up. Okay. So whatever is said here is in here.
We don't edit.
We only cut out the stuff that's like really messed up. That's it. Yeah. So
all right,
continue,
sis. Just
I definitely agree that like this whole men versus women thing is a lot more like prevalent now, and I think that does have a lot to do with these kind of social media figureheads and the like lack of nuance that they have when they speak. Like you said Andrew Tate before, and he doesn't even try to hide the misogyny. Like it's just like blatant, you know? And I think when it comes to the whole not all men thing, then it's like to stop that not all men thing from happening, men who are the outliers need to start speaking up against the men who are doing that. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what's an example that isn't controversial?
No, like now we can see a lot of trends.
I
That Andrew Tate, people that are a lot of guys, they'll be like, "Oh, I don't support." They do share it. They say, "I don't support Andrew Tate."
Yeah.
And then, you know,
And I think you should be going onto Andrew's profile and saying this is bullshit.
But
like,
don't you reckon those guys are doing it just so they can get girls to think, "Oh my God, this guy's such a sweet guy"?
what makes you say that?
I don't know. I reckon it's just like going out of your way to say, "Oh my," you know how like people do that? They go on their profiles, they'll be like, "Yo, Andrew Tate is this, Andrew Tate is that." Is he trying to get a reaction from guys or is he trying to get a reaction from the girls? Because the best way to keep Andrew Tate silent is just don't follow him and just don't post his stuff, don't share his stuff. That's all. You don't need to like go out of your way saying this is such an evil guy or whatever. You know what I mean?
So, do you think men can't condone bad actions unless it's for women's validation?
You know how? God damn. When I say Rahel, I think you found the third member of Bittersweet. But what I was gonna say on that is me personally. I'm not a person from my personal experience. I'm not a guy that will publicly shame someone or condone their actions. What I'll do is I'll message them privately and say, "Hey, yo, I disagree." I'm more of a DM person. I don't like correcting people publicly. I like to correct them in private. You know, like, hey, if I'm like, "Bro, that's pretty crap for you," or whatever, you know? Or I'll be like, "Bro, he dragged it on this post. I don't think it was right." Instead of saying, going on his profile or putting it up on my story. Why? So I can get people to praise me for a thing. Because that's all that's going to happen. I know if I go on my story and share it and be like, "Andrew Tate is this, Andrew Tate is that," bare girls are going to reply to me, "Yes, you're right." You know what I mean? I'm not trying to get that response. I'd rather like message someone that shares, for example, Andrew Tate post, because you really agree with his point on this, rather than publicly shaming Tate, for example. Do you know what I mean?
And my response to that would be because it's interesting that like is it because you find, like, why do you want to go the private route instead of the public
I don't believe
one?
in correcting people publicly, because when you're correcting someone when you correct someone in private, you want to help them. When you correct someone in public, you want to embarrass them. Because one, I can, for example, if I do, let's just say someone does something wrong, yeah, and I share it around and stuff. That's, for example, maybe that person just made a mistake, and because of that, I changed how heaps of people view him now because I corrected him publicly. Instead, what about if I corrected him in private? I say, "Hey, bro, you know, it's not right, or what you said is incorrect. You know, check this out, fact check this," and privately I do that to him. He's going to maybe be like, "Oh my God, yeah, he was right," or I went too far on this, delete the post, you know? And for example, from there, people are like, "Oh, you know," they'll just forget about it, you know? But if I publicly shame name and shame, it's gonna embarrass them. And what about if they do change their views? People are still gonna remember him for his old views he had and hold him accountable for that.
And you think that's a bad thing?
I think it's a very bad thing because people change. Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, let's just say, who's the worst person in the world right now?
There's a lot.
Okay, think of it. Okay, let's just say this. Let's just say this. I'll give you an example. Hypothetically, Andrew Tate switches up. 6 months in, he says, hey, you know, a lot of my views were this. You know, like I'm working on myself to change my beliefs, change my ideas. You know, and I do sincerely from the bottom of my heart apologize for what I've said in the past and stuff like that. Are you still going to hold him accountable? And he held himself accountable and said and apologized publicly and even changed how he acts and changed the approach of his content in the future. Are you still going to hold him accountable for what he did then and hate him? Or are you going to say, you know what, he did change. He did turn a page in his life. That was a past. He maybe was going through something. He maybe had some trauma. He's a changed man now. Are you going to still see him differently? See him the same as this misogynistic guy? Are you going to be like, hey, you know what? This person is a better person. And 5 years down the track, you even see him helping a lot of guys become better men. What are you going to do? Are you going to still...
Well, he's already switching up, which is hilarious to me because it is coming across as full-on like PR propaganda. But I don't think... Like, can I put it in a different circumstance? Can you imagine if like... Okay, so this is pretty full on, but the Nazis, right? And what they did. Just because they changed their mind and like they switched up or whatever, does that erase all the damage that was done?
Okay, it doesn't erase the damage they've done because one, they actually did kill and, you know what I mean, they destroyed countries. You know, this is taking lives away. This guy's just changing the ideas of society. There's a difference between that. That is harmful. Rahel, I definitely agree. I know you're going to, before I think, okay, what the Nazis are going to have to do is they're going to get locked up. They're going to have to serve time for the crimes they committed. Do you know what I mean? Whereas Andrew Tate, he didn't really do a crime from what we know, you know, like, and I'm not here supporting him, but I'm saying I don't even like really care. I was personally not interested, but like he didn't, just in case y'all think I'm a Tate fan, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, because there's a couple viewers right now watching thinking I'm a Tate fan, and you're completely wrong. But I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here. Yeah. So he didn't really kill, like for example, the Nazis killed people. They killed Jews. You know, they have to, for example, whoever killed those Jews is going to have to be held accountable and get imprisoned for that. Yeah? But what, are we still going to hold Germany accountable till today for it? And say Germans are this, Germans are that, and not forgive them?
And post about it.
And post about Germans till today, saying, hey, you guys once killed them? No. Because people change. And societies change. You know what I mean? If you can correct those ideologies, get rid of it, what's the issue? Rahel, what are you going to disagree with? Tell me, please. Because you're nodding your head. Like I said, the most wrong thing you've ever heard in your life.
There was... just because... Okay, first of all, I just hate talking about him because, like, again, it's just, like, some disgust... Like, I don't want to even give him more of a platform, but whatever. With someone like Andrew Tate, of course, he absolutely needs to be held accountable for his actions because what he's doing is influencing a whole generation of young men to act like violently, to act
misogynistically,
to act misogynistic, to act like there's just so many, like the core thing is the disrespect and the violence and the misogyny that's going to come out of the words that he says. And he has a huge following, huge. And you can't tell me that people aren't going to be like severely negatively affected, women specifically, by the influence of him recklessly saying this disgusting shit. Like,
no, I know what I'm saying.
And he has to be held accountable for that.
He's held accountable.
Yeah,
he apologized,
publicly.
And yeah, that's what I'm saying. He apologized.
I don't care.
No. And then he makes content.
Don't care.
No, look. Relax. Let me tell you.
No, it's so...
I want to say because, Rahel, look, he then makes content for the next 5 years committing to how men should really treat women and saying the views I had back then were wrong. and like having sit downs with women and saying,
Yeah, but
what can we do?
that's not the point that you're making, though. The point is you're saying like that people don't need to be held publicly accountable.
I said no. I said,
Or you don't want to hold
No, no,
people
no, he was
like.
I'm saying like, for example, not regarding Andrew. That was regarding someone that shares his post we were speaking about, right?
Yeah, and you're saying like, why? What's the need
That
to
one,
do that?
I messaged them privately. Someone that I'm able to reach. I can't message Andrew Tate on Instagram. I don't know him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you can
But-
share his stuff as a man and do that publicly, so other men who may be like, oh, you know, I'm a bit on the fence about Andrew Tate, then they see your post being like, fuck this guy, and then from that they're like, oh, actually, yeah, you know, like that's the effect of something like that. The more people that do it, the bigger influence it's gonna have.
I just want to say that, like, you know how like women had to literally fight for the right to vote and things like that. Nobody took them seriously until men joined the cause, because men only listen to other men. So if you're trying to be out here saying, I'm not sexist, not all men, prove it. Prove it. Like, speak to your fellow men and call them
that's
out.
what I just did. I just say, for example, I messaged someone privately and told him in private. That's what I'm
Yeah,
trying
that's
to say.
the problem. It's in private. So you're not making an example at all.
By doing that, don't you think that it can go the other way and make them even more hate women even more? Because now they're like being shamed in public, and now like their views are now stuck. You know what I'm talking about? Like, are you really making a positive difference, or are you just furthering their divide and their hatred for women by doing them publicly?
Can you tell me why you think that would happen?
Because I'm a man and I know men. I know people in general. It's human beings are, you know what I mean? Some people are more emotional than logical. You know what I mean? And sometimes you have to use your logic to work around people's emotions to get a point through. And sometimes it's better to have a private conversation with someone, and that way they know, okay, you have the best interest for them. Because sometimes you can tell someone good advice, and if you say it in a certain way, they can think you're coming for them.
If your response to being held accountable or called out for your actions is to behave even more appallingly, you're just a bad person.
Okay, with that, I'll give you... Go, Rahel, nodding it off. Go, girl. So with, let's just say on... for example, I did something wrong, yeah? Damien shares my profile. I share an Andrew Tate post. Let's just say. Damien shares my story and says, Ravo's a misogynist. He has these horrific views just because I posted like a quote of Andrew Tate saying, hustle hard. And then Damien goes, he's a misogynist, he supports Andrew Tate, blah, 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 yeah? How do you think I would feel towards Damien?
How would you feel towards Damien?
I'll be dirty. I'll be like, yo, this guy is dissing me public, you know what I mean? That's how everyone sees it. As much as we say, like, we're having this conversation, if another girl, I'll give you an example, if another girl shared a Bittersweet podcast reel, yeah? And said, Rahel has such horrendous views in life, blah, 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 because of your opinion you stated. And maybe let's just say that opinion was wrong at the time. Do you think, would you feel a certain kind of way towards her?
Yeah, of course.
And let's just say this, yeah? You come on the next episode and you say, I was wrong on the last episode, my opinion was incorrect. Do you feel like you should be like, people are like, oh my God, you know what? Rahel did make a mistake. Let's move on. I'm not trying to use that. Andrew Tate's an extreme example. I'm trying to use examples that relate to us more.
Yeah.
And like the next episode you came out, you said, Rahel's like, you know what? I made a mistake on the last episode of Bittersweet. You know, my views weren't right. And, you know, I was educated on this. Okay, yeah? Do you feel like people should forgive you?
Yes.
Okay, wait.
It's not.
No. That's what I'm saying. Andrew Tate's a more extreme example.
Yeah, but that's why it's
trying
not.
to get to
It's a completely different.
No, I'm trying to put the example there. Yeah.
Okay.
And even though after everyone forgives you, whatever, how do you feel towards that girl that made that post about you?
Honestly,
You still feel no,
No.
don't play it off.
I'm not playing it off.
You're gonna see that girl in public and you'll be like, hi, but in your back of your mind you're gonna be like, bro, that girl's a this. I don't want to chuck these bad words out, but you're gonna be like, these girls are this. Every human feels that. We're humans. We have emotions. We have insecurities. That's how it is. If someone calls me out publicly, I'll feel embarrassed. But let's just say that person messaged you and said, "Hey, Rahel, you know, I like your episodes, whatever. I like Bittersweet Podcast. It's such a great podcast. You know, I feel like on this topic you were incorrect, and here's some reasons why you were incorrect. Hope this message reaches you well, and I hope this benefits you."
I think of course.
Which one would you like, Damien? Which approach?
No, I was gonna say, of course, if it's on a level of like where we're at, to DM the person, because like they're not on such a huge scale of like for us, if like you would have, if I said something on Talking Trophies and it was wrong, and like someone, let's say someone did share something and like was putting me down for it, whatever, I'd be dirty because it's on a personal level. We're not a large scale podcast. So like I'd be offended. And if they DM'd me, calm, that's cool, you're direct. But I think what they were saying, like
that's an extreme example. I
but
just wanted to use an example that related to us a little bit more.
Yeah, if
you
it's
know, as content creators, we are local content creators.
Yeah.
I just wanted to think of an example that feel better. Like for example, on the Talking Trade space, because I go through Instagram, we get DMs weekly we get feedbacks, paragraphs every week. Hey, this I didn't like this. I disagreed with this. We read through them, and we're like, yo, valid point. You know, hey, let's switch this up a bit. You know, like we're wrong on this, you know, and we'll be happy to admit when we're wrong, you know. But like, bro, if people come out and calling us out publicly, like that we know, coming out calling us out publicly, for sure I'm gonna feel a kind of way about you, because you know me personally, you know Damien personally, for example. Reach out to him, message Sean, message Mash, message Weibo, tell him, hey, yo, you know, like I didn't like this, you know, maybe you should do this, because I'll feel like, hey, this person has their best interest. But bro, someone sharing a Talking Trophies post, tagging us in it, so they can get a couple of likes and this, that, so people can hit them up and say, hey, yo, you did a good job, thumbs up, and they're gonna forget about you 2 weeks ago. I'm still not gonna forgive you for that, and I'm gonna think about that. I'll probably forgive you, but I won't forget that in my head. I'll be like, yo, you did that, you know, like you did that snake move. That's what I think of it.
Yeah, but on the real, I think like when it's a huge scale, like we were talking about, like the extreme of Andrew Tate, or even not even Andrew Tate. Like, let's say when it came to like BLM, when it came to a political issue, right? Like everyone was sharing it because like, well, you can't, I feel like on that, if it's something like that, you can't just DM like one political leader in America or one political leader in Australia, because that's not, like, I feel like that approach doesn't work. So I see what you mean of like having to stand out, because I think like with any circumstance where we needed change, whether it was like a riot or whether it was like it has to be something that's so big and dramatic and impacts everyone, not just in your DM circle but in the world around you, that like they have to see your point of view and be like, I know where that person stands.
Yeah.
So, but with Andrew Tate, do you feel like every guy should be sharing, like, I don't support Andrew Tate?
But even if it's not even sharing, let's say if you're not cool with sharing, I think vocalizing it everywhere you go, you know, or like if that conversation does come up, just being firm. If your point of view is you're strongly against him, you gotta be that strong voice that says, hey, listen, you know what, I really don't mess with him. Like,
like with us on our podcast, we say he has a couple good points, 1 or 2 good points, you know, that
What are they?
No, like men should work hard, be the best, you know what I mean? Like try being the best possible man they can possibly be, as in like grinding out for work. You're having days off, push yourself. They say stuff like that. I respect that. I'm not gonna lie to you. As a man, I genuinely believe I should be working the best I can possibly be, putting in that work to be the best, like strong guy, physically even, you know, training wise. But like when he chucks these curveballs about like choke girls, like, you know, throw in the bed, girls should be, you know, staying at home full time, not even having ambitions for life.
that's messed.
I don't agree with that, you know what I mean? And 100% I don't agree with. We've said this on the podcast heaps of times.
And to clear it better, what we were saying was, we were talking about how we could see how a lot of young guys could be influenced, because they'll see it and like, it's like that bait. They'll see the bait, and so the guys will they'll reel it in. He'll reel it in. You'll get some good actual information out of it, and you might be inspired. You'll be like, yo, he's actually got a valid point. He's actually got an even more valid point. And then he curveballs it and says something messed up, and like a lot of guys will be like, nah, that's mess. And then there's a lot of guys that will just follow and be like, we should do that.
That 10%, 20% of guys will be like,
It's not even 10 or 20%.
of guys
I feel like
probably,
it's more than that.
No, it's not that big.
And
Trust me.
especially when
it's exaggerated. It's exaggerated the same way. I feel like it's exaggerated by the.
If you're talking about young boys, then I think that percentage would be higher. Like, you don't know.
Higher
like,
than men? I'd agree.
Higher than men. Absolutely.
Higher than men,
like kids, like that's what's scary about it.
Yeah,
like
of course.
you can't put like you as like a mature older man can't even think about how like a 13-year-old boy would be like taking in all of that content.
100%.
Like it's
100%.
scary.
But what I'm saying is, I feel like this idea that like 80% of guys support Andrew Tate.
No, I know.
Do you know? It's the same way.
Where is that idea published?
No, I'm saying an example. Like how I think the same way a lot of guys think like, oh my god, 80%.
Where was it published?
It was published on Talking
I
Turkeys,
think
Wikipedia.
we should refrain from saying like
No.
opinions
No.
as facts.
No, it's not facts. I'm giving you an example. I'm saying, for example, women think like, for example, I'm saying women might think like 80% of guys support Andrew Tate. It's the same way like a lot of guys, like 80% of guys probably think, oh my god, there's so much feminists, like crazy extreme feminists in the world. Is it true or not? When you go on TikTok, it's either feminism or it's Andrew Tate on the other side, red pill gang. Whereas a lot of society are in the middle, like normal, don't have these extreme ideologies. Do you know what I'm saying? Like 80% probably are normal. And then there's that.
But that's why social media and all this like
Exaggerates.
men are like this, women are like this stuff is actually getting really scary. Like, but I would stick to my guns and say that yes, more men should call out people like Andrew Tate and not have to be like feel embarrassed to do that. Because I think a lot of men do, like they don't want to come off as like
Soft.
Yeah, they don't want to come off as soft. They always have to be like, yeah, man, he has some good points. Literally like what you just said. He does have good points.
So are you
but
saying
like
I'm Andrew Tate supporter?
I don't agree with. It's like just say you don't agree. Like
No,
of course,
there's-
okay, he might have some good points.
Someone said
people,
that. Someone said
good-
that last week.
They're not even great points. They're just like they're points. All right, cool. But it's like he's
And hey,
the bad things like
no matter how
very
much we
much
feel it-
outweigh the good
that's what I'm
points.
saying. Yeah, but I know. Listen, in the end of the day,
But they always do
no,
that.
Rahel,
Like, just
what I'm
say
saying
it.
is, it's no, that's life.
Every
There's
man
things-
I've
there's
spoken
people-
to, whenever I
there's
talk
some
about
things
this
people-
stuff, they're
if
always
someone
like,
says something that's right, whether I hate you so much, well, if you say something that's right, it's right. Facts is
Yeah,
facts.
but it's
If someone told me that I hate
outweighed.
1 + 1 is 2, it's true. I can't disagree with it. Do you know what I mean? That's how it is. For example, there's feminists out there that you might, extreme feminists, really like, they say men are trash, whatever, but they do say some like valid points. Like there is
yeah, but
toxic
Andrew
masculinity.
Tate is literally
toxic
dangerous.
masculinity.
Like he's doing like messed up shit, like sexual assault and violence and stuff. Like you can't stand behind someone like that.
I'm not.
I'm not saying that you
I'm
are.
not standing behind
I'm just saying,
him. I'm not standing behind him.
say his shit.
Let us
He's
know in
a
the chat if you think
deadbeat person.
Raver,
Thank
if you
you.
think Raver
He's a
supports Andrew Tate.
He's a deadbeat. Hey,
Let
he
us
has
know in the
misogynistic
chat,
views.
Okay.
Hey, he has misogynistic views.
He's
I don't
bald as well. He's got a
Bald.
beard. I think it's safe to say that he's a fan. Where's the glasses? Hey, give him the glasses.
Yeah, hey, chuck me the Tate glasses. But hey, listen. In the end of the day,
They do
if
the
someone,
same thing with Kevin Samuels. It was always the same
No,
thing.
Rahel,
Like,
you can't
oh,
fight it. You can't fight it. If someone says something right, you can't fight it.
you can if they're a violent and abusive person.
Okay, so he's gonna. So okay, 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2. Yeah.
Yes. In this situation, it doesn't. I'll say that with my chest.
Say it again, please. Say it louder, just for the camera.
In this situation, 1 + 1 does not equal 2.
Yes, Queen.
Go Queen.
Stop saying it like you're like.
I disagree with you.
Okay.
I actually disagree with you.
All right. Cool. And
You-
you're entitled to that.
Yeah, 100%. But I'm not a Tate fan because you're making me seem like a Tate
That's
fan.
you're making yourself seem
No,
like
no,
one.
no. Because the way you just turned around, you just did that little shoulder hit and looked away like that. Leigh, what were you gonna say?
When I asked you about the points that he's valid, you said men should work hard,
Train hard,
train hard. That's the general gist of it,
go to the
right?
gym. That's
Yeah.
the only bit I agree with you, man.
And you're saying that is 1 + 1 = 2.
No, that's the fact. That one fact he has.
Yes.
I said, you know what? He's not wrong on that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then everything else I disagree with. But just that bit, I wanna put my body in key shape. I'm trying to work towards that. You know what? He's right about that. Hey, don't be lazy. Go to the gym. You know, I need someone to tell me that sometimes. But I'm not gonna go watch his videos on, hey, you know, women are this and that. I don't need to get advice. off him.
Wait. So you're less of a man if you don't go gym?
No, I didn't say that because I'm talking about me personally, from my personal experience.
But
That's
you
one
just
thing he
said that was a fact.
That is a fact.
A fact to you or
It's a
a fact
subjective fact.
object?
It's a
Okay,
subjective
then
fact to me.
subjective is the literal contradiction of fact. a fact has to be objective, not subjective. She's literally.
I just got shut down. I'm talking choking.
Literally.
No, hey, but you know what? All men need to work on their bodies and physique and try to be the best possible man they can be to be healthy. Is that wrong? And does gym not help you? Your body has a crazy impacts on your body and on your mind and your body, because you're pushing yourself to the limits physically, and you're pushing yourself and making yourself a better person physically. Is that bad?
I don't think it's bad, but I don't think the measurement of manliness should be dependent on how much you lift.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying as a man, I should be pushing myself physically, like going to the gym, going for runs, just to keep my body healthy. And that's what you do. You push your body. Like, let me go for a run, 3-kilometer run every day. For example, let me set a goal like that, just so I can keep myself healthy, have a fit body, so I can live a better life. And that's going to help me eat. And that's going to influence how I eat. You know, my mental health. What else? Physical health. For those around me too, they're gonna be like, hey, you know what? Raver's going for runs and stuff. Maybe I should join him. I need to lose a bit of weight. You know, I need to get in a bit of shape, and that is right. And then that is it's not a subjective fact. It's an objective fact.
So you are less of a man if you don't do those things.
It doesn't make you less of a man, but as a man, you should be doing that.
How does it not make you less of a man?
What?
How does it not make you less of a man?
Not caring for your body. Yeah, you're gonna be less of a man because you're gonna die earlier.
So if you die early, you're not a man.
Due to like killing your body with, like, for example, eating out and stuff. Damn, I'm being put under the bus here. But you know what? Hey, you know what? As a man, stop.
I'm just trying to understand your logic. I'm trying to understand your rationality, and I'm really struggling.
As a man, you should be as a man. You know what? As a man, you should be working towards pushing yourself physically to be healthy. That's it.
And if you don't, you're not a man.
It doesn't make you not a man, but
okay.
I think she's confused because you're saying that, because you know why?
You're contradicting yourself.
You're saying this to be a man. As a man, you need to do this, that, and then you're saying it doesn't make you.
No. As a man, I'm saying as myself. As a man, I believe as a man, I should be working towards.
So it's subjective.
Subjective, because.
You know what? Hey, stop. Hey, we got another man in the room. Sean. Hey, I need backup from the tape fan.
I'm having fun.
And just letting you know, backstory on Sean. Sean is an Andrew Tate fan.
Okay.
Sean,
yeah.
Anyways, listen, I'm not a.
Like, legitimately?
He's an Andrew Tate fan.
Yeah. I'm not a fan, but I like what he said too. I'm not saying it's a fact, but I think it's a common opinion that all men should have. I'm not saying it's a fact because it's subjective, like you said, and every side has different opinions and stuff, you know. But as a man, I think that men and women are different. We have like biologically and like how we're wired, how we think, how we operate. You know, we do things differently. And in a man's world, physicality is really important. And I'm not saying it determines the value of a man, how much of a man he is, but it's something that's really important for him as he grows up, that he needs a skill to have. You understand? Because the world's not sometimes the rainbows, you know what I mean? There's some dark people in this place, you know what I mean? Some cold people. And the only reason why we live in a society is because a lot of men sacrifice their lives, and women too, you know what I mean? But mostly men. So you wouldn't have those people, the soldiers, that are dying for us if they weren't strong. You know what I mean? We wouldn't have a lot of things that we have now if men weren't doing things that we consider for us to be not a fact, but something that we think that all men should be doing is become stronger physically, mentally, become even not just physically to just be a bigger man, even mentally be more smarter, more agile, more sharp. How you think, how you interact, you know what I mean, and just how you go throughout life. So I think most definitely, bro. The guy's got some good points, you know. But I'm not gonna say go check a girl, go do this, go do that. I'm not gonna go say that. Yes, you should be doing that. But I think all men should share the same common opinion that we should all become stronger physically and mentally. And I'm speaking this from experience. You know what I mean? So.
And women shouldn't be stronger physically and mentally?
No, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about women. Hey, shout out Sean for backing me up. We're not talking about women. I'm saying what I picked out from Tate's videos was that when I saw that one gym one, I said, hey, that's a valid point. But all the other videos I don't agree with. But when he said, hey, work out hard, train hard, that motivated me personally. I said, you know what, that's right. Like, he's got a point there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm not saying, hey, I support. That's the only video. But every other video I press not interested on. You know, so it doesn't come. You know, when you go on TikTok, you press not interested, so it doesn't come on your feed. all those videos are personal interested on. But I'm just saying that specific video, like that video, and I saw it. So it's got a valid point on that. Shout out, Shashan's motivated right now.
Last one. I think a man's worth to be determined, in my personal opinion, is not through physicality or whatever. It's what he does for those around him, like his family, how he provides for his family, not just like money wise, but what he does for them, like even like care and all that kind of stuff too. And I think a woman has the same expectation but different standard. You understand what I'm talking about? Like they've got their own way. For example, how she looks after the kids, how she nurtures it, all that kind of stuff. So. But we're different, man. We can't just accept, oh yeah, you're less of a man because you don't go to the gym. Nah, but a man has a role that he has to do. You know what I mean? So,
can a man
as a son and as a father and as a brother, you have a role, and it's a masculine thing you have to do. As a father, you gotta protect your family. As a brother, you gotta protect your sister. You know what I mean? As a son, you gotta protect your whole family too. Why the term man of the house is bad? Like it's not bad, but like
it is.
It's not. I wouldn't say it's bad, but there's a reason behind it. You know what I mean? There's a reason why people say, oh yeah, because like. As a man, bro, you're supposed to protect those around you, and
as a woman, you're not.
And all men feel that way. All men feel. Why do you think getting protective of their girls? Why do you think people like we all have that thing in us?
How many women are out here protecting their men, like providing for their men? Like I don't understand why you're making this like distinction. I think it's toxic.
No.
I genuinely do.
Rahel,
it's just not necessary.
It's toxic until it becomes life and death.
Okay. That's extreme.
What?
No, but hey, Rahel, I've been in circumstances where it's actually been extreme. Someone lost their life. Yeah? And I was at home. One of my neighbors was there was an incident in the house where someone was actually stabbed.
You ever see someone get murdered?
He got murdered, yeah? And the people were running and there was no one home. I was the only guy home. And because how Africans are raised, we have to look after our neighbors, go check on your neighbors. My mom told me, get up, go check up on our neighbor because it was a lady. Because her husband, my mom knows her husband's at work. Do I tell her do I leave it there? I went because I was the man at the time. I was the man of the house. Like all the males in my house were gone. I went to look after and we went and, we stopped the guy from killing other people.
Yeah, that's full on.
That is full on, but that's
really
life. That's real life.
I understand, but there's your experiences. And I'm just saying that like, maybe in general, the way that society is set up because of a lot of different things like colonialism and patriarchy, men are expected to be in that position more than women. But you can't say that women don't have to step up in the exact same way that men do every single day.
I'll give you an example.
So I don't understand.
In that circumstance, if there was no one there, of course my mum would have went.
Straight up.
100%. But I'm saying at the time,
but maybe there's families where the sister goes because she feels like she's the strong one in the family, even if she has a brother.
I'm just saying example for Sean of the man of the house thing. At the time, that's why I'm thinking. But if I wasn't there, one of my mum or my sister would have went.
Yeah.
There's no issue around that. We're not saying that. But back to the Andrew Tate thing, because that's where we started. Listen, if I don't share his stuff, it doesn't mean I'm a follower. I mean, I don't share his stuff and say I hate him, blah blah blah. Doesn't mean I'm a follower of him. That's what I was trying to get to.
If you're not speaking out against bigotry, you are just as bad as the person committing bigotry.
And that is facts. But what I was saying was when people, okay. Am I a misogynist? Because instead of sharing a story saying I don't support Andrew Tate, he's a misogynist and use the evil for following him, or messaging my friend and be like, hey, cuz I'm not gonna lie to you, he was wrong on that point. Am I still a misogynist?
They're completely different circumstances.
No, because you just said, if you're not, say that line again, the one where you're not standing up. Say that line you just said, the one where you spoke about how
if you're not speaking against bigotry, you're just as bad as the person committing bigotry.
Okay, so the person, let's just say someone makes a racist post. One of my friends, yeah? Or someone I know I'm following. I didn't know they were racist. They make a racist post. I go off and make a screenshot their post, go on my story and say, hey, this person, this, yeah? That's one circumstance. The other circumstance, I messaged him privately. I said, hey, bro, that's an invalid point. I think that's bigotry and those claims are very wrong. Well, they're both the same thing. We have a platform here on Talking Trophies. We talk, I'll give you an example. We spoke on Andrew Tate. We said all the stuff we disagree with him about. We said, we don't agree with him on this. We don't agree on that. He might have some good points, but there's a lot of curveballs he throws. So watch out for those curveballs because some people are going to get sucked into them. We said
and
that.
that's what she's talking about, speaking out.
We've
like-
said, no, for example, I'm just saying, yeah, we do that. I just want to show our viewers that we have said stuff on that because I'm scared Bittersweet Podcast, they're going to make a clip and say, talking trophies, support tape. But what I'm saying is, like, there's different ways of approaching things and there's different ways of approaching people as well.
And which one do you think has more impact?
For me, on a personal basis, I believe it's the personal ones. That's my opinion.
Why?
Because I feel like it shows that person, for example, that I do know, that, hey, you know, like, you have these views, I care for you, but I disagree with you, and you need to check on, like, research these facts. And that keeps a great relation between me and them, because they think, hey, you know what, I was wrong, but, you know.
What if they don't?
That's on them then. I'll tell them, hey, yo, those views are incorrect. And he knows where I stand.
So you allow them to keep spreading misinformation?
I think more people will start calling him out or hit him with the unfollow.
Just as long as it's not you
What?
calling him out, like
Yeah,
publicly.
I'm just saying, personally, I don't want to call them out. Okay. But I'll privately message them, and that's fine. What about you? So right now,
Publicly.
what
all
about
the
your
way.
friend? Your friend, someone you've known all your life, comes out and just says some extreme view on something.
I would go into the comment section and I would say what I think. And I would expect them to do the exact same. I actually see it as a sign of respect when people call me out. Because if you're calling me out, that means you want me to improve. People that don't call each other out, that let bad behavior go under the radar, you don't care about that person because you don't want them to change.
But I'm saying, no, the example we're using was the sharing. The comment section was right. I didn't even think about the comment section. You're actually totally right about comment section. I never thought of that one. I was talking more about like sharing their story with their profile and putting it on your story. That's what I was trying to say. And
Why would I do that when the comment section's right there?
I
Where
don't know.
more people would see it?
I don't
Because
know.
it's a direct...
We were talking about the story example, but the comment example is right. You could do that as well. Say your things on the thing. But what I'm saying is, do you feel like that would impact the relationship between you and them?
It would impact it, yeah. And is that a bad thing?
I just wanted to do the pause because she normally does the pause and puts me on show. And I thought if I do the pause, but she's really good. But I'd say, I don't know. It depends on the person, how much you love him. Let's just say your sibling did it. Would you still smash him out in the comment section?
Yeah.
God damn.
I'd say this is fucking racist. I would say that in the comment section.
You're right.
And then if they didn't take it down, if they ignored me, I'd say, okay, I guess you're a fucking racist then. Good to know.
That's it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Is it?
No.
Is it what he's saying?
Not the comment section. I'm not talking about that. We're agreeing to
Everybody
disagree.
said, that's what I'm saying.
We're agreeing to disagree right now. We're agreeing to disagree. Because
It's what you're saying, but we're agreeing to disagree.
No. I'm gonna say this, yeah. I message them. I tell them, hey, this like your blah 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 blah, and then they say, yeah, I agree with my views. I'm not gonna change it. I say, okay, that's your views. I don't want you in my life, you know. And then I unfollow them. I move on with my life.
Yeah.
Have I made an impact to the world?
Nope.
How so?
Because nobody else saw the private DM. Because it was private.
You actually got a very valid point there.
And that
Thank
about
you.
wraps it up for Ravo in the hot seat on Talking
Man,
Jamie.
I'm done.
If you're still watching, hey, if you're still watching, hey, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. Make sure
Hey,
you're still watching.
check out Bittersweet Podcast.
Killed it.
And check out
Leigh.
Hey, are you gonna start out the Siebes again?
Maybe. We'll see.
Let them know about that. Tell them about that. A little bit what you do.
I'm a
Or
lawyer.
showcase, yeah. Or say, yeah.
Hey, there's a mismatch. Hey,
I'm
this
not a
doesn't
lawyer.
count. This episode doesn't count. That's
I'm not a
mismatch.
lawyer. I'm not a lawyer.
I'm gonna say, man, that's a disadvantage. But, hey,
But this was a lot of fun.
yeah, talk about.
And I thank you for playing mental gymnastics with me. It was a lot of fun.
No, hey, it was actually. I actually like this conversation. You know what I mean? It was a great episode. This is what Air is about. You know, disagreeing because I even like what's his name? Dini was saying we have a lot of yes people in this episode, and you know, just having this conversation. You know what? Hey, I'll be honest with you. I actually see why people do that now. I'm still gonna private message people, like if and I hope they private message me. But that comment section stuff is really right. Like I didn't expect the comment section. You know what I was thinking the whole time? I was thinking like people just share your story and your profile, and then put it on their story and say this person's a misogynistic, blah blah blah, or a racist or a bigot, and move on. That's what I was referring to. But you're actually right about the comment section. So check out Siebes.
Wait, do you have anything coming up? Anything happening?
I do, but I signed NDAs, so I
Okay.
can't say
Okay.
anything.
Sign NDAs.
She has upcoming things, so make sure you just keep an eye out on Leigh. Such our platform.
And then we got the amazing Rahel. I'm not gonna lie to you, better than Wintana. Better than Wintana because hey, no. Shout out Wintana, but the energy. I even said this. I said, let me find Rahel a guest. This I didn't know Leigh was this amazing.
Yeah.
And this was be honest, hey, them two together, I think you found a third member of Bittersweet Podcast. You need to get her on. She's actually well spoken.
Yeah.
But check out the Bittersweet Podcast as well. Rahel's one of the members. And you know what? She has amazing. What? I said one of the members.
No. I hit.
I hit my in a funny way. That's right.
I hit my nose.
But hey, she, as we, discussions we had, they have similar discussions, like on, relationships, how abuse of society.
Yeah.
And, they're doing their thing as well. They're getting a lot of shout outs. We even saw, I saw a story of Wintana on Converse.
Yeah,
on
she's
like
killing it.
Yeah, shout out to her. But besides that,
Thanks.
stay humble, faith.
Tryna tell you something. For you, going, have your parade. For your sun turn black and gray. Come on, let me serenade you. Serenade.